Good morning. My name is Carlos Martinez Colon, Procurement Official of the Procurement Division for the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery and Mitigation Program. In this pre-proposal meeting, we are going to explain the process for the CDBG-DRMIT-RFP-2023-09 request for proposal for electronic bidding solution. I would like to introduce the Puerto Rico Department of Housing personnel. Along with me is Luis Santiago Ocasio, Technical Specialist, Mariana Ramirez Vicens, Technical Specialist, and Erika Caban Morales, Specialist of the Federal Compliance. Any questions submitted in this meeting will be answered in writing and will be published in an addendum. Any information provided in this meeting does not change the terms and conditions established in the request for proposal instructions. This meeting is being recorded and will be available in our CDBG YouTube channel. All procurement processes shall be conducted in accordance with the terms and conditions established in the procurement manual for the CDBG-DR programs to guarantee full and open competition and fair treatment of all persons or entities involved in each procurement process. The procurement manual is available at our webpage, recuperacion.pr.gov, and it's incorporated by reference and made an integral part of this request for proposal. I will be talking now about the scope of services. The Puerto Rico Department of Housing, hereinafter PRDOH, is issuing this request for proposal, RFP, to obtain a commercially available electronic bidding solution capable of automating the bidding process, allow prospective proposers to submit electronic bids through a secure centralized online platform. The bidding solution must allow the PRDOH procurement staff to manage solicitation documents using predefined templates, receive bids electronically and automated evaluation, and independently score supply responses or bids according to the requirements of the PRDOH. User licenses and access. Licenses or accesses must be provided for the following users in the amount defined below. Administrator, at least 3 licenses, access. Procurement user, at least 40 licenses, access. Evaluators, at least 20. Proposers, bidders, vendors, unlimited licenses, access. All proposal must contain a detailed description of what's included with each type of license or access. Some of the requirements, tasks, and services include create, manage, track, and monitor solicitations, procurements, bids, RFI, RFP, RFQ, posting of bids, receiving responses over the internet. The procurement methods that are to be issued within the bidding solution include, but are not limited to, RFPs, RFQs, IFBs, MP for micro purchases, and SP for small purchases. The bidding solution must possess security warranties like data encryption, virus scan, among others, to guarantee the confidentiality of the process and the safekeeping of the documentation. Must securely store and protect software and data against, but not limited to, the following: technical hardware, software failure or errors, act of human error or failure, unauthorized access, software attacks, and forces of nature. Proposed bidding solutions should be capable of the following: repository management, create and save a repository of solicitation templates, clauses, contract terms and conditions, allow the migration of vendor-supplier information from the existing database, allow authorized users to create various types of procurement methods by picking and choosing different options from the repository. Procurement Division can quickly view, access, review, and download contents of this repository as needed. The exported data must be downloadable to Microsoft Word, Excel, PDF, and other applicable formats. Allow uploading and merging of drawings, pictures, maps, and others into the final document. Solicitation management must provide an online real-time self-service type of registration for potential vendor supplier. All documents and forms shall be available for potential vendors, supplier to download, print, and view online. The submission of offers shall be made through the software, including the ability to attach documents, allow an automated process for registration to invite vendors, suppliers to become part of the vendor list. Vendors, suppliers shall have the ability to enter company profile information and identify themselves by business classification or goods codes. The bidding solution must provide the classification and codes and/or allow the PRDOH to create business classification and goods codes and provide a description for each. Vendor supplier management. Ensure vendors, suppliers are registered and identified to guarantee offers are submitted and provided by an authorized representative and give secure access before the submission of electronic bid. Provide alternatives to reduce the risk of fraud in submitting offers. Give registered vendors and suppliers access to all documentation, creating a mandatory documents checklist to be submitted and identifying the solicitation closing date. Submission of vendor and supplier offers should remain locked until the due date and time. Allow the vendor supplier to withdraw its offer or proposal or substitute it with a modified or updated copy of its offer before the closing date. Bid and award management. The bidding solution should allow automatically generate the details of each received offer, including at minimum the solicitation number, name of the solicitation, name of the vendor or supplier, federal employer identification number, unique entity ID, offer submission dates, pricing, and all other relevant information pertaining to the solicitation. The creation of criteria for evaluation and scoring, organize criteria into groups, generate a report of received bids with vendor supplier details at the due date, and all bid responses must be kept securely sealed and rendered unreadable by anyone until the due date, at which time authorized procurement staff can open and/or decrypt and review the submitted bids. Technical functionalities. Compliance with standard operating procedures. The solution must allow users to access, upload, organize, identify, store, and transfer documents, as well as other tasks pursuant to the procedures and workflows established in the SOPs that detail the steps of PRDOH procurement processes. The solution must allow complete compliance with the prevailing SOPs. Current SOPs are attached to this RFP as attachments to demonstrate example of processes that the selected proposal may apply. The attached SOPs may or may not be final SOPs requested to implement. Ability to establish unique usernames and password for all authorized users must be accessible via any major web browsers. Users' profiles should be configurable based on roles, rights, and permissions, allowing varying access levels. Allow the upload of digital versions of bids. Hosted SaaS-specific system requirements. Provide system availability 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, not including scheduled downtime. Ensures scheduled downtime in pre-approved by PRDOH 1 week in advance. Provides system uptime of 99.99%. Provides hosting facility that is SAE 16 certified, stores data in the continental US, provides for continuous backup of data and transactions such that PRDOH will not suffer data loss in the event of a disaster or catastrophic failure. Other requirements and tasks and services include the data access and security breaches. Upon discovery or reasonable belief of any data breach, notifies PRDOH by the fastest means available and in written within 24 hours. Notification should include the following: the nature of the breach, the data access, used, or disclosed, the person or persons whose access, used, disclosed, and or received data, if known, what has been done to quarantine and mitigate the breach, and what corrective actions have been taken to prevent future breaches. Solution implementation. Implementation activities may include discovery and project kickoff, configuration activities, configuration development, server configuration, data conversion, backup process setup, validation, testing, provide on-site or remote training, launch the electronic bidding solution. User dashboard. The bidding solution should have a separate dashboard for both the procurement staff and vendors or suppliers who bid on solicitations. The web-based dashboard should be configurable and, at minimum, allow registered vendors or suppliers to view the key features such as solicitation number, title of solicitation, due date, status, questions and answers, addenda, number of bids received, to mention a few. The dashboard should allow procurement staff to see the details of all solicitations issued, such as solicitation number, title of solicitation, due date, status, question and answer, and number of bids received directly from the main dashboard screen. It is desired that the dashboard be customizable for management, be to display only the summary of activities performed. Maintenance and technical support. The proposed bidding solution is expected to deliver relevant, practical, and timely staff information through real-time reports. The proposed bidding solution will enable procurement staff to report on vendor supplier offers, pricing, solicitation information, and staff processing time reports. Users should have the option to run reports between date ranges and on specific data fields, solicitation number, title of solicitation, vendor name, due date, and other available data as listed below. The proposed bidding solution should allow the extraction of raw data into a Microsoft Excel format. Raw data should include all fields associated with any solicitation created in the solution. Requirement tests and services also include reporting requirements. Is expected to deliver relevant, practical, and timely staff information through real-time reports. The bidding solution will enable procurement staff to report on vendor supply offers, pricing, solicitation information, and staff processing time reports. Users should have the option to run reports between date ranges and on a specific data fields, solicitation number, title of solicitation, vendor name, due date, and other available data as listed below. The proposed bidding solution should allow the extraction of raw data into a Microsoft Excel format. Raw data should include all fields associated with any solicitation created in the solution. For security requirements, the proposed electronic bidding solution must comply with NIST 853 and 800-171 standards. Regarding personally identifiable information, the bidding solution must comply with all applicable laws regarding P11 data collection, encrypted P11 data in transit, database, server file system, user devices, and removable storage devices. Comply with organization policies regarding P11 security breach incident reporting. The solution shall perform audit logging to build a historical record of all users' actions, including user authentication attempts and critical system processes. The solution stores audit logs on servers separate from the systems that generates the log. The vendor must maintain an up-to-date system security plan, SSP, NIST PL2 and NIST PL8. Training services. The selected proposers shall provide training for procurement staff as requested by the PRDOH and should provide a copy of all training material which must be available for electronic download by the participants. The training should cover all areas of the proposed electronic bidding solution, including but not limited to solicitation, development, data entry, evaluation, procedures, and querying, reporting, and administrative functions. Training shall take place during normal business hours, Monday through Friday, and can be offered in various methods, including on-site training, web-based training, and online web tutorials. Additional training shall be made available via online videos and resources on an ongoing basis throughout the term of the contract awarded as a result of the solicitation. The PRDOH will provide facilities and computers to conduct such training. The selected proposers shall also be responsible for providing training to the vendors using the electronic solution through the use of web-based training and online web tutorials. The training documentation should be available at all times for the new and returning vendors. Contract term. PRDOH aims to select one or more proposers to provide a commercially available electronic billing solution at the discretion and in the best interest of the overall CDBG-DR and CDBG-MIT programs administration and implementation for a period of a 3-year term with the option of up to 2 additional 1-year extension upon mutual written agreement between the parties. For more information pertaining the terms and the requirements, please refer for the scope of services. Thank you.
Good morning. The RFP documents are available for download at our website as presented on screen. Some important dates for this RFP are the following. Submission of questions and requests for clarifications on or before February 5, 2024 at 4 p.m. AST. Responses to questions and requests for clarifications February 15, 2024. Proposals due date from March 13, 2024 at 9 a.m. AST and up to on or before March 15, 2024 at 4 p.m. AST. Responses to all proposers' questions will be answered by addenda and will be posted on our website. All documents related to this acquisition process, including the addendas issued by the PRDOH, are and will be available for download at the website. All proposers are responsible to monitor the website for any issued addenda in this RFP. Proposals will be only accepted electronically. Proposals submitted after the prescribed deadline will not be allowed. The Department of Housing will neither require nor accept physical proposal submissions. If a proposal is submitted on paper and electronically, only the electronic submission will be considered for the evaluation. Proposers will receive access to submit proposals after completing the registration process through the website. Once the scheduled submission period begins, a link will enable access to the registration form. Please complete all required fields in the form. Proposal must be submitted within the closing date and time schedule. Access to upload the proposals will begin on March 13, 2024 at 9 a.m. AST. Now we will discuss the evaluation criteria.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Luis. The evaluation committee will evaluate responsive proposals according to the following criteria listed in order of importance. 1. Professional qualifications and experience of the proposer to successfully perform the services required in this RFP. By evidence of relevant services of similar scope and complexity, preferable in large complex of public organization like state government and municipalities. 2. Quality of the proposed approach and its relevance to the services described in this RFP, including an implementation schedule and understanding of the PRDOH goals. 3. Quality, capacity of the proposer's personnel and the ability to commit to adequate time to effectively perform the services in the role assigned within the required timeframe. 4. Financial stability of the proposer and its capacity to effectively perform the services. 5. level, quality, and relevancy of participation by Section 3, business concern, and MBE-WBE, registered Puerto Rico business. Finally, 6, reasonableness of overall price, allocation of effort, and overall value offered. Now let's discuss the SAM. Proposers and first-year subcontractors must be registered in the System for Award Management, better known as SAM, at the time of the proposer submission, or initiate the registration process right after the proposal submission. For more information, please visit the SAM website. There is no fee to create, renew, or update your registration. Awards will be only issued to entities that are cleared and not ineligible for award of contract due to suspension, debarment, or HOD imposed limited denial of participation. Now there is a presentation from the specialist Erika Caban that will talk to you about the federal compliance requirement. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mariana. Once again, I am Erika Caban. Good morning, everyone. The Section 3 Specialist from the Division of Federal Compliance, and I will be sharing with you important information on this informative presentation.
On behalf of the Department of Housing Federal Compliance Team, welcome to your compliance overview. This presentation is prepared in English. However, should anyone need this presentation in Spanish, you can request using the protocols for this RFP. The agenda for today will cover a brief overview of Section 3 and how to qualify as a Section 3 business. It will discuss compliance with MBE and WBE business participation, reporting compliance, and a brief overview on FHEO compliance.
The procurement package contains language that offers contractors the ability to seek a preference. Please remember to use the references and templates that are made available and that we will be discussing in this presentation. Proposers seeking preference should provide their self-certifications and sufficient evidence for how they qualify as a Section 3 business. The Department of Housing offers a template on the website. Proposers seeking MWBE preference should provide a copy of their certification and evidence of their status. The certificates provided should show the dates and indicate that they are currently active.
The procurement package contains sections that speak to the applicability and the requirements for MWBE. Within those sections, you will find helpful links to online resources that are made available, such as the policy guide. Let's talk about Section 3. Section 3 is a federal requirement of 24 CFR 75 from the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968. The Department of Housing makes available a Section 3 policy guide on their website in both English and Spanish. Proponents can read about how to qualify as a Section 3 business by reading this guide if they wish to qualify for a preference. Let's talk about the definition of a Section 3 business. A Section 3 business refers to a business concern meeting at least one of the following criteria, which is documented within the last 6 months. The business is at least 51% owned and controlled by low or very low-income persons. It could also be a business that has at least 51% ownership and controlled by a public housing resident or residents who currently live in Section 8 assisted housing. It could also be a business that has over 75% of the labor hours performed for that business over the prior 3-month period by Section 3 workers.
Section 3 tools. Section 3 self-certification forms help you uncover if workers and businesses can meet the income thresholds required. HUT also offers a 4736A and C form to be able to be used as a template.
We will now turn our attention to minority and women-owned business compliance. There are various regulations that call for the inclusion of minorities and women business enterprises. 2 CFR 200.321, as well as Executive Orders 11625, 12138, and 12432 establish the participation of MWBE firms, which seek to ensure that when possible, contracts and other economic opportunities funded in whole or in part with federal housing and community development assistance are directed to minority business enterprises and women business enterprises. The Department of Housing has established an MWBE policy guide. This is available on the website in both English and Spanish. You can access those documents using the link on the slide. Let's look at what a minority business enterprise is. An MBE is defined as a business which is at least 51% owned, operated, and controlled on a daily basis by one or more American citizens of the following ethnic minority and/or gender and/or military veteran classifications: African American, Asian American, Hispanic American, Native American, Hasidic Jew, persons with disabilities, and other individuals who can prove social and economic disadvantage. Women business enterprises, or WBEs, are businesses that are at least 51% owned and controlled by one or more women. The owners must be U.S. citizens or legal resident aliens, whose business formation and principal place of business are here in the U.S. or its territories, and whose management and daily operation is controlled by women. The MWBE policy guide will identify that there are goals which apply to professional services, purchasing supplies, and construction contracting. There is a total of 20% minimum participation goal. This 20% is comprised of 10% for women-owned businesses and 10% for minority-owned businesses. Contractors are expected to perform good faith efforts for contracting, subcontracting, and purchasing opportunities of $10,000 or more during the life of the contract. Let's look at the MWBE Utilization Plan. This tool helps you compile data for your subcontracting. It helps you identify what needs you may have. It helps hold discussions on creating supplier and contractor listings, and it provides awareness of meeting the goal for the contract and tracking. You can use the link on the slide to go to the website and download the plan template. Let's review how you should complete your MWBE utilization plan. The Department of Housing Utilization Plan template can be used throughout the life cycle of your contract. Completing the plan is pretty easy. You should read the general instructions in row 3 and complete sections A, B, and F from the document. Complete the information requested in the yellow cells. When we talk about certified minority or women-owned businesses, we are referring to those who have filed applications with federal entities such as SBA and others that you see here on the slide. Businesses who are certified can provide proof of completing an application process to be officially recognized as a certified minority or women-owned business. If you are registered as an MWBE, you should provide your valid certificate or other evidence in response to this RFP. In this section, We will be discussing how to complete your efforts and quarterly reporting. In order for you to report your efforts, the Department of Housing provides a tool. This tool helps you document and identify how often you are seeking interactions with Section 3 businesses and MWBE businesses. The quarterly reporting form allows for you to share and report your data with the Department of Housing. This allows the agency to fulfill oversight responsibilities and monitor the progress throughout the year. The Department of Housing's quarterly reporting form allows for the user to capture multiple compliance areas all in one Excel form. Section 3 data is collected. MWBE data is collected as well. FHEO information is also documented within the report. And finally, for those who have construction projects, there is a report for Davis-Bacon Unfound Workers Efforts Reporting. Awarded contractors will be responsible for reporting 4 times a year, on April 5th, July 5th, October 5th, and January 5th. This ensures that you are meeting benchmarks and documenting your efforts. The quarterly reporting template is also available on the Department of Housing website. Let's briefly discuss FHEO. Your RFP package will also contain a model contract which outlines fair housing and equal opportunity areas of compliance. Contractors are responsible for ensuring compliance with federal civil rights and fair housing through their contractors, subcontractors, and so forth, ensuring that all necessary efforts are being made. The Fair Housing Act and Sections 109 and 504 prohibit discrimination against the following protected classes of people: race, color, national origin, religion, sex, age, familial status, disability, gender identity, and sexual orientation. The Fair Housing Act is part of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. There are many executive orders, laws, and statutes that govern the non-discrimination of protected classes to ensure equal opportunity for individuals in accessing federally funded programs. Equal opportunity is afforded to protected classes through a number of these federal laws and executive orders. The Department of Housing has published policy documents attending FHEO as well as Language Access Plan. These policies must be implemented by contractors and subrecipients. They are publicly available online in both English and Spanish. You are encouraged to click on the links and access the resources available. Procurement.
Thank you for your attendance. Have a good day.